Hey guys, how the hell are ya? And welcome to an all-new unbiased gear review. Today we are taking a look at the Harley Benton ST20HH. So first, some specs on this instrument. We have a poplar body, a bolt-on maple neck with a Roseacre fretboard, 22 frets, die-cast tuners, 25.5-inch scale. We have a pretty minimalistic metal setup here. We've got HBZ active humbuckers, a single volume control, three-way blade switch, deep dish output jack, and a hardtail bridge. That's it. That's all there is to it. So I saw this instrument come up on my Insta feed, and I was very much intrigued right from the word go. I was like, wow. Let's be honest. What does this look like? So now let's take a look at it and see if it can pack even close to that same kind of punch in a far less expensive package. So taking a look at the QC of this instrument, there's definitely a handful of things that need to be called out / addressed, but at the same time, this is what it is. It's about $130, $150 instrument, so there's bound to be some stuff that you just have to expect. Take the finish work, for example. So we've got a satin black finish all over this thing, all over the body, all over the neck, all over the headstock. This thing is murdered the fuck out. The only thing that's shiny on this is the hardware and the pick guard. In my opinion, it looks really, really awesome. Aesthetically, it is absolutely gorgeous. Total molten metal machine. But when you take a look at some of the finish work, you can definitely see some raised edges, some little burring, some stuff that maybe fell underneath the layers of finish and didn't get quite sanded out. As far as the fretwork goes, the fretwork and the nut themselves, very, very flush along the sides of the neck. The fretwork, it's not extremely pretty, but it'll do the job. It's not sharp at all. There's no cheese grater sharpness. It's not exactly super rounded off, but it is still comfortable to play on. No hindrance whatsoever. No cutting up of the fingers. Even the nut is nice and flush on the sides of the neck. Just kind of perfectly cut there. The fretwork, as far as the leveling goes, is really nice too. Up and down this board, not finding any dead spots or anything. There's a teeny tiny little bit of buzz on that high E string, but it's negligible. It's something that, hey, no problem, tweak this a little bit, maybe tweak up here a little bit, and you'll resolve the issue. That being said, this instrument did arrive rather well set up from the factory. I only needed to make one little minute adjustment on one of the saddles down here, and this thing is set up perfectly for D standard. Another thing as far as quality control goes, you take a look at the pickguard here. Not exactly the cleanest cuts on there. There again though, is it something that's affecting playability? No. The only thing that might be kind of a cause for concern a little bit later on down the road is the neck joint itself. There's just a bit of a gap that's in there that is just a little bit wider than what I would like. It's definitely something that could lend itself to a little bit of neck movement. Certainly not making complete contact between the body and the neck. It just bears mentioning, bears getting called out. But there again, please keep in mind, this is about $130, $140, $150 instrument. So there's just going to be some things we just have to accept as long as this thing will play good, stay in tune, and sound good. As far as playability goes, it's very, very comfortable to play on. It is what it is. It's a Strat style body. You know it, you love it, you're used to it, so nothing is going to feel unfamiliar there. What might feel a little funky is the neck contour, because being that this is a more Strat style neck contour, let me tell you, this neck profile, it's very thick. And it's just something that a typical Strat player will definitely call out. When comparing it to like my Greco Les Paul Custom, it's extremely similar. Comparing it to like my Squire Strat or even some of the other Super Strats that are around the studio here, this is super duper thick compared to those. And it's just something that you're going to notice from the moment that you pick this up. Back to that finish work, as far as playability goes, it is really nice on the back of the neck. Very, very easy to get acclimated to. It seems to me like I'm getting kind of used to playing guitars with gloss necks lately, but this is still something that was very, very easy to adjust to. It feels nice, it feels comfortable. Pretty much any of us that have picked up an instrument in maybe the last 15 years that has had a matte finish back of the neck, I should say a solid color matte finish back of the neck, are going to be very familiar with how this feels. So it's going to be not really anything new. It's going to be rather comfortable, rather easy to get adjusted to. Speaking of adjustments, the bridge down here, like I mentioned before, when I had to make a minute adjustment to the setup, very easy to kind of work around here. It bears a striking resemblance to a hip shot bridge as far as with the little side indentations here. Very, very easily workable. It seems to be holding up rather nicely. Ever since I got this thing set up, I've had absolutely no tuning stability issues whatsoever. Plays rather nice. If anything that should be called out as far as the playability goes, couldn't exactly play this right away. This is the first time ever where I've purchased an instrument that has active pickups and there was no battery included. Wow, that's literally the first time. Minor inconvenience, but just as an FYI, apparently that happens. And that leads me into the tone demo. Let's check out how this thing sounds. So how does this guitar sound? Honestly, that's one of the best things about this instrument. So one of the things you're going to notice right away about this instrument when you're first looking at it online is it's got these no-name HBZ active pickups in it. And everyone's going to be like, okay, come on, how good can they really be? Well, honestly, they're not bad at all. Like, is it as hi-fi as EMGs or Blackouts can be? Not really, but there's a little bit of fizz in there. If you can deal with that, this is kind of awesome. Pretty articulate. You get a little bit of sizzle that's in there, which is a little unfortunate, but all things considered, I mean, we're talking about an instrument that costs less than what a really decent high-end set of active pickups would typically cost. And we've got something that's punching a little bit above its weight here, especially as far as that tone goes. Little bit of that fizz coming through there. Really awesome placement of this switch too. Just in the perfect little spot, kind of where that tone control would normally be. Volume knob is also a little bit more out of the way, so for those of you that have that sort of concern about playing a Strat guitar, this is something that is a little bit easier for you. It's almost a little bit more in like a Jackson or Charvel style placement. If anything, a little bit more of that fizz comes through on the neck pickup. That wasn't fizz, that was just Arnold fucking up. But yeah, that sounded pretty mean. So overall, my final thought on this, dude, this is a solid value. Yeah, there's a handful of QC things here or there that you're going to notice, you're going to call out. There again, it's $150 instrument at its most expensive. Spend a little bit more money, get the bag. They've also got bundles that you can buy that have a little practice amp, etc., etc. If anything, the only thing that's a little bit of a bummer is how much it costs to ship, but it's coming from Germany, so what do you expect? All told, I ended up getting this instrument, shipping included and with a gig bag, for about $210 if I remember right. And dude, I would happily pay twice, maybe even more for this thing with all the value that gets packed into it. If the most pressing concerns for quality control are a handful of little burrs that are stuck underneath the paint finish and that little bit of a gap that's in the neck joint, I mean, what does that tell you? This thing is honestly rather solid. It's a lot of bang for the buck. It sounds fantastic considering how much you put into this. So, yeah, does it sound as awesome as a Seymour Duncan Blackout or an EMG 81? No, but if you can handle a teeny tiny little minute bit of fizz, this is honestly a stupid amazing value for the money. I'm actually kind of really happy I bought this, and I don't know if I'm going to get rid of it because it's honestly kind of a hell of a lot of fun to jam on. Hit me up about a month or two down the road, see if I still have it, but god damn, I'm kind of loving this thing right now. But Arnold, what are you drinking today? I'm so glad that you asked. Let's go to the beer fridge and let's find out. Today, we are having a limited release brew from Austin Beer Works. This is Gold Fist, a Belgian-style golden strong ale, 9% alcohol by volume. So every so often, Austin Beer Works just likes to come out with some limited release stuff that you can pick up in the stores. This is one that I was very intrigued by when I first saw it. There's going to be a more in-depth review later on the Arnold Drinks channel, so please definitely tune in and check out. But this is kind of a quick capsule review so that you guys kind of know what we're dealing with here. Right off the bat, lemon, lemongrass, a lot of lemon zesty notes in the aroma, and definitely a bit more of the same in the palate itself. Lemon zest. It's a little bit citrusy for a Belgian strong ale. Also for this style, something else that should bear mentioning, it's got a unique finish to it. It's got kind of a champagne-like dry finish, so it definitely doesn't go down super smooth, but at the same time, if you can hang with a dry finishing beer, this is rather awesome. So just something that I actually expected probably a little bit better considering how much awesome luck I've had with Austin Beer Works products in the past. This, in my opinion, could have been just ever so slightly better. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please remember to like this video, subscribe to this channel. There is tons more metal and guitar-oriented content to come. And also please hit me up at Arnold Drinks, my new YouTube endeavor. Live now on YouTube, but also you can go to the Arnold Drinks Instagram page. But also, please like this video, subscribe to this channel. And as always, remember, take what you do seriously. Do not take yourselves too seriously.